1. Center demarcates Abohar Ecosensitive Zone, Lord's local Vishnoi for preserving area. GS Paper 3, Conservation of Environment and Ecology. Why recently in news? A 186 square kilometers of private and open wildlife sanctuary at Abohar in Fazilka district, Punjab, has been declared as eco-sensitive zone by the centre. The local Vishnoi community was credited by the government with respect to its immense contribution towards maintaining the area spread over 13 villages of Abohar. Notification to this effect has been done under Environment Protection Act 1986. The wildlife sanctuary has over 3,500 black bucks, nilgai and other wild animals also roam around freely in this private wildlife sanctuary. Immediate steps taken by government to protect eco-sensitive zone. With the area declared eco-sensitive, there will be no mining in this area and within 100 meters radius of this sanctuary. No new industry that can deplete water quality or cause any type of pollution will be allowed to be established in this area and around. A private monitoring committee will be made to look into irregularities if any and also to increase the wildlife in this sanctuary. An ecotourism master plan will, however, be made according to which people will be encouraged to visit the sanctuary. But at the same time, the ecosystem will be preserved and efforts will be made to not encourage hotels and related industry. Tourism will be controlled. What are the guidelines for declaring eco-sensitive zones? The government is declaring land falling within 10-kilometer radius of the boundaries of national parks and sanctuaries as eco-sensitive zones as part of the action plan envisaged in the Wildlife Conservation Strategy which was adopted in 2002. The purpose is to create some kind of shock absorber for the protected areas which would also functions as a transition zone from highly protected areas to areas involving lesser protection. The activities in the eco-sensitive zones would be of a regulatory nature rather than prohibitive nature. However, in case where sensitive corridors, connectivity and ecologically important patches crucial for landscape linkages are even beyond 10 kilometers width, these should be included in eco-sensitive zones. Who are Bishnois? Vishnoi is a community of nature worshippers in the state of Rajasthan, India. They also have a sizable presence in the neighboring states of Gujarat, Haryana, Punjab, and Delhi. Bishnois are strong lovers of wild animals. It is because of their protection that in Bishnoi-dominated areas, deer and antelopes such as blue bulls, black bucks, chinkaras and chauzingas are seen grazing peacefully in their fields. Bishnois are known to be very violent and aggressive in protecting trees and wildlife. 2. Cold War ends in tropical Havana. GS Paper 2, Effect of Policies and Politics of Developed and Developing Countries. Why recently in news? U.S. President Barack Obama's visit to Havana, capital of Cuba, was historic. It was the first time in 88 years that an American president visited the city. His trip and the predicted end of economic sanctions and other hostilities that America inflicted on Cuba for 57 years is historic for several reasons. Significance of the visit. At the twilight of his presidential term, Obama is willing to make bold foreign policy moves, the lifting of sanctions on Iran, the engagement with Cuba. Finally, Obama's visit opens the doors of Cuba's economy, stagnant for nearly 30 years after the collapse of its main ally, the Soviet Union, to global capital. Citizens of Cuba and its Havana elite will now have to cope with the windfalls and whims of global capital. This will not be easy for President Raul Castro, brother of the iconic Fidel who led the revolution that brought the regime to power. Cuba might come to adopt a China-style model, a relatively free economy with one-party monopoly on governance.